Hi guys, welcome to Fierce and Pretty. Honey here. And this is the reading number 2 out of the 52 readings. And let's get on with it. The second reading was a 5-card spread. And for this time, it had positions for the cards. So the question, context, you, community, and outcome. And this time I chose a question that is a bit more personal, but I think some of you might be able to relate on it and use this question also if you have similar feelings. And my question for this time was, why do I feel so lost, especially in the mornings? Because I often, this morning when I woke up, I'm kind of out of place and out of touch, and I feel everything feels really irrational and weird, and I feel lost, and many things feel really meaningless, and I get these very nihilistic thoughts right before I wake up in the morning. They do pass very fast, but they are there often in the mornings, and I've been wondering what's it all about, and I've been also having a lot more weird dreams lately. So I thought that could it be because of those, or what is happening during the night that I feel so lost in the morning. So let's jump into the second reading. And the first card of the question I got, the 9 of Swords. And I thought that this is just a perfect example of this deck, how it works, because it's just so eerie how spot on it is every time. And the 9 of Swords, especially in this deck, is such a haunting card. I hope you can see the image there. But he has really black eyes, and he's filled with terror and holding his knees. And to me, this is a really powerful depiction of the 9 of Swords. And to my question, I think it was perfect depiction. That feeling in the morning when I feel lost and anxious, and I don't know what are the terrors in the night that affect me so. When we think about Kabbalah, this belongs to the 9th Sephiroth of Yesod, the Sephiroth that is assigned to the moon. And I think that's also really fitting to this card position and for this card in this reading, when we are talking about the lost feeling in the mornings. And again, I was using the Robert Wang's Kabbalistic Tarot book when I was looking deeper into the 9 of Swords. And what it says in the book was so profound to me that I wanted to quote from the book here. And the sphere of its operation is that of Levana, the lunar beam, bestowing change, increase and decrease upon created things, and it ruleth the sphere of action of the moon and the nature of mankind. Its archangel is great Gabriel, the prince of change and alteration. In Yesod are those energies directly underlying the material world, which are manipulated in various forms of meditation and in what is called magic. These currents are known as the astral light or Akashic fluid, and each individual has an etheric body which leaves the physical body naturally in sleep or is consciously projected by the adept, formed of the astral light. And then it went on talking also about Kundalini energy. But reading that passage from the book made me think about the nights and my dreams and the causes of the anxiety and the possibility of astral journeys during the nights. Who knows? But at least I found that passage really interesting. Then the second card of the context, I got the wheel. And to me, it speaks loudly about the change. Because if you've been following my channel, you know that I'm really puzzled about all this that is happening to me. All this, all my new interests, because it wasn't so long ago when I didn't know anything about anything spiritual. And now I'm over neck deep into all occult. And I'm loving it. But there is this change going on. And I think that I am still confused about all that and what that all means and where it's all going to. And this is the card of Jupiter and the expansion. Things are growing, and in my birth chart, because I have a day chart, Jupiter is my most benefic planet also. So it is affecting me most in the good way. And if you would have a night chart, then it would be Venus. But for me, the most benefic planet is Jupiter. I have to understand that the change is good and it's for my benefit. Then for the third card, which is me. So the card of you. And there we have the Hierophant. And I think the Hierophant card is so interesting in this one. I love that it's not the typical image of a pope. It's just an old wise-looking man looking into a box where light is bursting out. And to me this talks about my rising sign, my rising Taurus. And I feel like I am the Hierophant, looking into the box, searching for something, searching wisdom, wanting guidance, and I guess searching for a teacher or something. I have opened it. I have opened the Pandora's box, and there's no way of closing the lid anymore. Everything is just bursting out. And I just have to see what it all becomes. Then for the fourth card of community, I got the Magician. I think this is, at this point, I was blown off because this was already a third major arcana in the row and in the community. So I'm talking about all you guys out there, my community, that can guide me, that can teach me, that can provide more tools to me on this path. Learning traits from other, and because I'm feeling really isolated and different. I feel different when I am in my normal life, daily life, amongst the people that are around me wherever I go, who don't have any interest around these topics. But there is the power in the community where I can find my place and not be a weird lost soul, and find power in the community. The Magician is the card of Mercury. This card gave me insights that actually went very deep, that I still need to reflect, that I spoke more about them. I think that it kind of gave me more understanding on my path and where it might be going. But let's see. I'll return to that later on if my hunch is what I think it is. And to the outcome card, I got the Strength card. That's the fourth major arcana in this sequence. And that was just mind-blowing. How the story unfolds, and because sun represents self. It is the sun, the center of all of us. And finding my strength and my place, and finding my power in this journey, it is the outcome. I see a clear path here, which makes it easier to handle the anxiety in the mornings, to understand that the change is going on and the Pandora's box is open. I have my support because I know where I can find it, but it all leads to finding the strength. And to me, this was insanely powerful. And the patterns and themes in this reading were like change and growth. And again, from the darkness into the light. I love how this deck uses the dark and light. And in the personal reflection part, I wrote that I shouldn't hold on too tight into the anxiety in the mornings, even though I feel that I'm still lost. But I am on the path of transformation that will bring these growing pains. Direction is beautiful, and the finish line is worth the journey. And then into the action steps part, I wrote that I need to ground myself in the morning, to shake off the journeys of last night, wherever the dreams have taken me, to shake them off and ground, and to have faith in this process, and continue with the theme of from the darkness into the light. And what I did this morning after this reading was I went to make my coffee, and I was making my coffee and grounding myself in that moment. And I actually thought that I might film you guys a little video one day about how I do my grounding work, because that's something that I do a lot and that I need to do a lot. And again, there is the quote in this one, which I again read after the reading, and this was mind-blowing to me, by Khalil Gibran. So our anxiety does not come from thinking about the future, but from the wanting to control it. And to me, this was so powerful again after the reading. And what I wrote to myself in the journal was not to hold on too tight to trying to control everything, to have faith in the journey and to let go and let it unfold. So to me, that was really powerful. That was the second reading, the second prompt that I did. Let's see what we have next time. And here is a little sneak peek for next week's reading. It's gonna be a 10-card reading with assigned card positions. After this, the journal doesn't provide me any spreads to use, so I'm gonna be starting to use different spreads, and I will go through the spreads in every week readings. And I try to keep them as versatile as I can. So maybe you can find out some new spreads along with the different prompts or questions if you find any help from them. I would really appreciate the feedback, how you feel about this series for now. Does it feel interesting at all? Or does anybody want to see these? Should I continue recording these or not? Or if you want me to include something different into these videos that could be more of help, just let me know. I always love the interaction. But until next time, guys, bye.